On 20th November 2025, a decade-long legal saga that gripped the Federal Republic of Nigeria reached its dramatic conclusion in an Abuja courtroom. Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the proscribed Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, was sentenced to life imprisonment by the Federal High Court.
I hereby sentence the convicts to life imprisonment for the said counts 1, 4, 5, and 6.
Born in Abia State in 1967, Nnamdi Kanu held British and Nigerian citizenship. After studying in London, he founded Radio Biafra in 2009 and formally established IPOB in 2012. His central demand was a referendum to restore an independent Republic of Biafra, a state that had collapsed in 1970 after a devastating civil war that claimed more than 1 million lives. What began as provocative broadcasts from London grew into one of Nigeria's gravest internal security crises since that war. October 2015. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested in Lagos upon returning from the United Kingdom. He faced initial charges of treasonable felony, terrorism, and managing an unlawful society. Following his arraignment, the case was first assigned to Justice John Toho of the Federal High Court. After 18 months in detention, a different judge, Justice Binta Yako, granted him bail on health grounds in April 2017. She set stringent conditions, including a ban on public gatherings and media interviews. 5 months later, a military operation at his family compound in Umuahia forced him to flee. Nigeria proscribed IPOB as a terrorist organization and issued a bench warrant for his arrest. Nnamdi Kanu remained in exile for nearly 4 years. June 2021, he was sensationally rearrested in Kenya and returned to Nigeria in circumstances later ruled unlawful by Kenyan High Court. Back in Abuja, the trial resumed before Justice Binta Yako. Prosecutors brought an amended 7-count charge under the Terrorism Prevention Act, accusing him of inciting violence through broadcast, directing deadly attacks on security forces, and enforcing criminal sit-at-home orders across the southeast. The ensuing legal proceedings were characterized by constant change. After Justice Yako withdrew from the case for a period, it passed briefly through Justice Evelyn Ayadike and then Justice Taiwo before returning to the docket of Justice Yako. The protracted trial drew repeated international criticism over due process. Twice, the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention declared his detention arbitrary. In a pivotal moment, Justice Taiwo struck out 8 of the 15 counts in original charge sheet in April 2022, citing lack of jurisdiction. But the Supreme Court of Nigeria later overturned an acquittal granted on the remaining count, sending the case back for trial on the amended charges. Finally, the case was transferred to a new judge, Justice James Omotosho. On November 20, 2025, Justice Omotosho delivered the verdict. After prosecutors presented audio recordings, witnesses' testimony, and evidence linking Kanu's directives to attacks that claimed hundreds of lives, the court found him guilty on all 7 counts. He received life imprisonment on the most serious terrorism charges, with concurrent sentences of 20 years and 5 years on lesser counts. The judge noted Nnamdi Kanu's lack of remorse and the severe threat to national security, yet chose life imprisonment over death penalty.
Consequently, and in the interest of justice, I hereby sentence the convicts to life imprisonment for the said counts 1, 4, 5, and 6 instead of death sentence. Life is sacred to God. With respect to count 3, he is hereby sentenced to 20 years imprisonment without no option or fine. For count 7, He is sentenced to 5 years imprisonment without no option or fine. To extend the mercy, I hereby order that the sentence shall run concurrently. And due to the nature of the offenses that borders on terrorism and the attitude, violent nature of the defendant, that I have taken judicial notice.
Outside court, Nnamdi Kanu's lead counsel announced an immediate appeal.
We are filing our notice appeal tomorrow, and be rest assured the judgment is going to be set aside, because this is not judgment at all. If you are doubting me, I will get the citizenship of the judgment tomorrow. I will give it to you and the record of proceedings. You will now discover that the judge left what issues that we raised. He left everything that we are talking about and be writing another thing. So that judgment, it was predicated on anger. It just, Nnamdi Kanu has insulted me. I will show him that I'm a judge. That's all. That's all.
In the southeast, the ruling deepened existing divisions. Markets remained shuttered in part of Anambra and Imo State. The federal government called the verdict justice served. IPOB maintained its leader was a political prisoner. 10 years after his first arrest, the legal chapter involving Nnamdi Kanu closed for now. The man who once addressed millions from a London studio will spend the remainder of his life in Nigerian custody. However, his supporters have vowed the struggle continues.